Over the past few years, we worked with a number of high schools, kindergartens and primary schools and high schools and colleges and universities in terms of building their brand identities. And I feel that at the moment, in the United States, at least, the state of branding for high schools is pretty poor. And this could be a number of reasons. One of them could be thought of as a lack of budget, but that's really not the case. It's more to do with the kind of mindset within the school board and the environment, especially if they are under the management of the county. And of course, charter schools have better branding than compared to, let's say, county schools, right? But anyway, today I wanted to look at two different examples of brand identities that we created for two different high schools. Now, please note that this is not just about building a brand identity, but this is about creating a strategic kind of visual language, kind of, to make sure that this then extends into other touch points within the schools, the sports teams, and so on and so forth. The first one I want to look at is for Simi Valley High School. And the pioneers, of course, this school was established in 1920. And I will show you their old kind of logo before we rebranded it. But this school has been around for a very long time. And Simi Valley in California, and they will be, of course, celebrating their 100th kind of anniversary this year. Well, this was created in 2019. So for this school, we worked with brand strategy, messaging. We created the primary logo, brand identity element, and of course the sports team mascot. And I'll show you their old sports team mascot, and then of course the current one. And as you can see, we sort of branded it with corporate colors or the high school colors, a secondary icon, and a sports mascot that also forms a part of the main primary logo. And you can see here a rendering of the Pioneer. The Pioneers, actually Herman the Pioneer, and as you can see here, this was the old, this Herman the Pioneer actually for this school was created back in 1940s and has been with the school for all these years. But recently they've stopped sort of using it. Of course, this is on a few of the touch points within the school. It was not really effectively kind of promoted in the last few years because the school, the board, everyone felt that it was a little dated and probably not really aligning with the students and the new modern kind of outlook. So what we did was basically take that Pioneer and really refresh it. We sort of wanted to create a mascot that, by the way, this is the male version of the Pioneer. There's also a female version of the Pioneer that we're actually currently working on for this high school. And it'll be used interchangeably. It's not set in stone, so it's fluid. And the way we created this new Pioneer is really streamlined the design, created this kind of serious look, but also something that represents what a pioneer really is, right? So pioneers, they represented something, and that's what the school stands for. It's those ethos, those kind of those virtues and values, and we took that. We also created, or rather we took their current kind of secondary mark for sports and we tweaked it a little bit to make it more legible and gave it more depth and dimension. And as you can see on merchandise, on hats, and of course on t-shirts, it just looks stunning. So in terms of high schools, it is advisable that you refresh your sports identity, you refresh your school identity, depending, of course, on the kind of look and feel that you already have. The next one I'm looking at is the community independent high school and their sports mascot plus the official kind of primary logo for the Braves. Now, this is a beautiful, beautiful looking design, as you can see, and we actually refreshed their old Braves character, and we also created sort of secondary icons. As you can see on the left hand side is the Braves primary logo. Then the B itself has been turned into a secondary icon. Then we have on the right hand side just the mascot head with an arrow, and finally just the typography but using the secondary icon again. So we created a number of different elements so that the district, the community school, can use them for different purposes. And for example, here they're using the secondary icon, the mascot with the arrow saying join our team, and then here of course they're using just the face, and the anonymous tip line they're using the secondary typographic treatment. And as you can see here, it just looks stunning on a helmet. Beautiful looking design. Again, this is a t-shirt representation. We got the mascot face with the arrow and the typography. And the community ISD was established in 1947 in Southeast Collin County, and it's been going on for more than 70 years, I think, and it's got over 2,000 students. They've got pre-K, 5th grade, and they've got elementary. They've got middle school, of course, and then they've got the community high school. And prior to this rebrand, they've had several different versions. And as you can see, this is just a mascot kind of created. This is how it looked in 1964, and then it's sort of this is some of the things that their students did. This was settled for a long time, and then you can see here that they had a full kind of fledged artwork, which was not really sitting well with students and stuff. And you can see here on their Facebook page, of course, how they have implemented the Braves icon and so on. And you can see again here the secondary mark looking fantastic on a football. And then you have, of course, this jersey with this beautiful, beautiful primary logo and the secondary icon in front. Another view of the helmet, simply stunning looking. Now, those are just two examples of high school's case studies, but we have many on our website. And I've worked with a lot of high schools, especially Osceola County down in Florida. We created fantastic looking mascots and primary identities for them. Here is an example. This is Denjon Middle School Dragons. This is a stunning, stunning version of, again, this is a refresh of their kind of mascot. And look at this. This was the old version, right? This on the left hand side is the old dragon that they had for a number of years, and then we refreshed that dragon and created a very powerful looking icon that the whole school can rally against. Similarly, let's look at St. Cloud's Middle School St. Cloud's Middle School Mustangs. Again, beautiful looking Mustang design, iconic treatment. Again, different versions, primary, secondary, and we got the iconic treatment here again on a jersey. Look at this beautiful, beautiful looking design on pencil cases, on tote bags, and this was the original Mustang that they had for a number of years. This is kind of a clip arty kind of design. So yeah, refreshing your mascot, refreshing your primary identity will always, create a lot of, it's great for the morale. It's great for the students and so on and so forth. And we've also worked with a number of elementary and intermediate K-8 schools and created beautiful looking, fun kind of designs. As you can see here, they just look fantastic and really give something for the students to really stand behind and rally behind. So if you're a high school, or if you're a middle school, or an elementary, or a K-8, whatever, I mean, if you're a school and you've been around for a long time, and if you have had an identity for a long time, I think it's time to refresh. Look at 2020 as a year for you to refresh your identity, your sports team mascot, and go for something fresh, something modern, something that, because students now, their perception of identity, their perception of visuals, of graphics, it's changed, right? The new generation, they expect everything to look fantastic. So take this day to evaluate what your brand identity is and how your school, especially the students, maybe do a little bit of a survey. Don't just say that, okay, we've had this for a long time. So not because we've done it, not because I've been, helping a lot of schools do it. This is something which makes sense, especially if your target audience, which is the students, they would want something fresh, something as a rallying cry, for their sports team, for their school, and so on and so forth. I hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions, if you are, a high school or a middle school or whatever, just drop your questions below. I will try and answer them. And if you are having difficulties with trying to understand how brand identity works, just drop me a comment and I will answer. Till my next video, take care.